So today's video is going to be all about what my experience was like as a disabled person going to my first ever K-pop concert, or like concert in general, I guess. But yeah, it was my first time going to a K-pop concert specifically, and I'm going to talk all about my experience there and how it was, and yeah, that's basically just going to be this video. I know it has nothing to do with books, but I wanted to make a video about this just in case anyone was curious, or they are like a disabled person like me wanting to go to a K-pop concert, but they're too scared of what it's going to be like for them. So yeah, that's why I'm making this video. I hope anyone is interested in this, I guess. So yeah, let's just get into it. So first of all, the venue that the K-pop concert was being held in had all like standing spots basically, except for the wheelchair section, which also had an option of just, being able to sit there and not like needing a wheelchair. So yeah, that's what I ended up going for. I ended up contacting the venue, or rather my dad ended up contacting the venue and asking if I could get a chair in that wheelchair section, and they were like, yeah, sure. And I at first thought that they wouldn't say yes, but then a couple weeks later when the concert actually happened, I noticed that there were actually quite a few chairs in that area, and I wasn't the only one, because I was very scared I was going to be the only one, not just like sitting like on those chairs, but the only one on that like wheelchair platform. But luckily enough, there were like at least like 15 people on that platform, which I was really glad about. So yeah, if you're nervous about like contacting a venue in terms of like you needing to sit, I would recommend it, because it seems like they are quite like lenient with it, or at least this venue was. Like this venue in particular didn't even ask for any proof specifically of why I needed a chair in that like wheelchair section. My dad basically told them that I had like chronic pain, and that was like enough for them. So yeah, if you're nervous about contacting a venue, it wasn't that bad for me, so hopefully it won't be that bad for you either. So yeah, now right before the concert, I ended up taking, or rather like putting on, a very small amount of like a painkiller that is basically, I'm sorry if you can hear my cat moving by the way, but yeah, basically before the concert I took like a very small amount of painkillers. They're basically like in the form of like a lotion basically. So yeah, only a very small amount, so I wouldn't like fall asleep in the middle of the concert or become nauseous in the middle of the concert because of the painkillers I was taking. Because if I take a heavier pain medication, like I already said, I'm gonna become either very tired or very sick. So yeah, I took only like a very small amount of pain medication, and I didn't take any like pain medication with me. I was thinking about doing that initially, but I ended up not doing that. So I guess I'm just gonna go into the things that were in my bag at the concert, in my small like handbag, because you weren't allowed to bring anything bigger. And yeah, I'm just gonna tell you what was in it, just in case you don't know what you need to bring if you're like disabled and chronically ill and you're going to a concert. This is what I brought. So yeah. So first of all, I brought tissues, lip balm, and my glasses. I didn't wear my glasses going there because it was raining, so I had to bring like my glasses like case, like the little box that it's in, which took up a lot of space. But yeah, I also brought a mirror, and then like an MP3 player, because I was scared that like they weren't gonna play like any music before the concert, and I had to arrive like half an hour before it started, so I was scared I was just gonna sit there all alone for like half an hour, just like, being bored. But I didn't end up needing it. And yeah, I also obviously brought my phone, which is what I'm filming it, which is why I'm pointing towards the camera. I brought my phone, and I brought a power bank to go with the phone in case it ran out of battery from all of the filming that I was doing, because I basically filmed like almost the entire concert because I just couldn't stop myself. And obviously I still paid attention to the concert itself. I wasn't like looking at the screen the entire time. I just made sure that everything was like in focus, and everyone that needed to be on camera was on camera. And then I just like looked forward, because I held the camera like here usually. So yeah, I wasn't like blocking anyone's view, don't worry. But yeah, now the last thing that I brought was obviously like my wallet, because that's just something that you need. So yeah, I didn't bring anything else because we weren't allowed to bring anything else. Now, like I already mentioned, I was sitting on a chair for the entirety of the concert basically. And sitting on the chair hurt. Like it wasn't a very comfortable chair. There was no like cushioning or anything like that. Sorry again if you can hear my cat. But yeah, there was no cushioning on the chair whatsoever. So it wasn't the most like comfortable chair, but it was still way better than like standing for like 2.5 hours straight. So yeah, it hurt, but it was still way better than standing. I'm very glad that I was allowed to sit. So yeah. Now as for the staff that was like assisting everyone in the like wheelchair section, both like the actual wheelchair users and the people sitting on chairs, they were quite nice. I was kind of scared that they were going to be mean towards me because I wasn't a wheelchair user, I was just using a cane. But yeah, they were actually quite nice. I had like 2 bracelets that they gave me, one for the section that I was sitting in, and then another one that basically was like a notice to staff that like I was one of the people that might need like medical attention during the concert. So yeah, I had 2 bracelets. I don't know if that's going to be the case for every single venue, obviously, because like I said, first K-pop concert, first like concert in general. So don't know if that's the case for every single venue, but it was the case for this one. So yeah, the staff was relatively nice. Some of them were a bit confused as to why I was using a cane, or were confused about that it even was a cane, because my cane, if you've seen a picture of it, like it's not really a standard looking cane. It's kind of like an interesting looking one. So some of them didn't even realize that it was a cane until I would mention the fact that I wouldn't be able to go up the stairs because I was using a cane. Because a staff member after the concert did try to make me go up like a whole flight of stairs to like exit the venue, and I had to like literally point at my cane and go, I can't do that. And he just kind of like looked at it and was like a bit confused, and he was just like, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's a walking stick. Like I struggle walking, I can't go up a flight of stairs. And he was like, oh, right, sorry. And then he let me go through like the other exit. So yeah, that was a bit confusing, but like I get why people get confused by it, because it doesn't really look like a cane. But yeah, overall the staff was pretty nice. So yeah. Now I did feel like I was being stared at all the time. And again, that largely has to do with the fact that I use a cane and probably like the length of my hair. But yeah, I kind of stand out a bit, and I know that. So like I wasn't, expecting anything else basically, but I don't really like it either. So yeah, I was expecting it, but I didn't really like it. And yeah, I guess I can't really blame them. So yeah. Now the concert itself was really fun, but the next day I got really sick, as in like throwing up kind of sick. And I actually felt like I was gonna vomit in public for the first time ever, which, fun fact, I've never felt like that before. So yeah, it was very fun to like sit at like a breakfast place with my dad the next day after the concert and almost throw up on the plate of food. So yeah, I basically had to like run out of the establishment, or my version of run, which is basically just like speed walking. So yeah, it wasn't very fun. I got sick. I luckily enough didn't actually throw up in public. I waited until I was back at the hotel room. But yeah, it wasn't a fun day. I threw up like 3 times. It wasn't fun at all. I hate throwing up. And yeah, I basically didn't feel well for that entire day, which was sad because that was like our only day at like the city that the concert was being held in. Like we arrived the previous day at the day of the concert, then we had one full day at the city, and then the next day we were gonna leave. So we only had one day, and that's the day that I got sick. So I only was outside that day for I think like a total of like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. And we ended up going to like a K-pop store that was nearby, or rather like kind of nearby, because it still took me like 30 minutes to get there, but that's because I walk really slowly. But yeah, we ended up going to a K-pop store nearby, and we ended up buying a couple albums. I was really happy about that. I bought way more albums than I thought I was going to, because I felt sick and I knew I wouldn't be able to buy anything else basically in the city. So yeah, I ended up buying way more than I thought I would. But like I said, I did that because I knew I wouldn't be able to buy anything else. So yeah, if you see like a couple of like K-pop albums stuffed in my bookshelf, that's because I haven't had the energy to like clean out my like K-pop album like shelves like on this side. I haven't had time to like rearrange them, and I'm still waiting on 2 albums. One of them being like a signed album from the group that I went to see in concert, and it still hasn't arrived yet. So I'm waiting on that so I can put all of that away and display that one. So yeah, I'm still waiting on that, so I can't really put them away. So if you see the albums, I'm sorry about that. I know it looks a bit weird, but that's where they're gonna be for at least like another week until the album arrives. I don't know when it's gonna arrive, but hopefully soon. So yeah. Now a couple days after we came back from this like mini vacation, I started experiencing some new symptoms that I've never had before in my left leg that I'm currently still experiencing, but now they're not new anymore, obviously. Now, I didn't initially think that these symptoms were like too bad, like they were a bit annoying, and they are annoying, but I didn't think they were that bad until I went to physical therapy, and my physical therapist told me that I needed to go to like the emergency room or like a doctor at least within the next couple of days, because these could be like really damaging symptoms and really scary symptoms. And yeah, so that made me really scared. He literally wouldn't allow me to leave on my own. He literally was like, you need to call your dad and ask him to come and pick you up. So yeah, clearly he was very scared for my health, which was interesting. So yeah, so I'm not gonna go into all of that because I don't know what is going on yet. I have an appointment for like x-rays and stuff like that in like a month. So if I find something out, then I guess maybe I'll tell you guys. But honestly, if they do find something, it's probably not anything good. So yeah, I don't know if I'm immediately gonna update y'all, because while I do love this channel, if anything really bad is going on with me, I'm obviously not gonna prioritize filming. So yeah, hopefully it won't be anything too bad and it's just like a new weird symptom that my body decided to make. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I guess I'm kind of anxious for the appointment because I really am scared that it's gonna be something bad, because the doctor also seemed to think that it was not a good thing for me to have these symptoms. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I am not gonna let this like stop me from going to another concert though. I don't have any in mind yet, but if another like K-pop group that I like is coming somewhere near me, I am gonna go to it, because my chronic illnesses and my disabilities already control so much of my life. I don't want it to control this as well, because I already like for years I wouldn't allow myself to go to concerts because I was too scared of what it would do to my body. And now I actually went and it did actually probably do something to my body, but still, like, I'm not gonna let it stop me. Like, I want to have like a good time occasionally at least. And again, my chronic illnesses and my disabilities have already like ruined so much for me. I don't want it to ruin this as well. So yeah, I'm probably still gonna go to other K-pop concerts despite how bad this one made me feel, I guess. Because again, I did have a good time at the actual concert, so I think that's worth it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, I guess. I don't really have much else to say. I think this video is already long enough. But yeah, I hope you guys at least found this like a little bit interesting. So yeah, put in the comments down below maybe like K-pop concerts that you went to, or just concerts in general. I would love to know what your experience was like, especially if you're also like chronically ill or disabled. I would love to know other people's experiences, because even though my experience at the concert was quite good, maybe other people's aren't. So yeah, I would love to know about your experiences in the comments. Thank you for watching, and bye.